Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. I am Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Today, coming to you live from Cocoa Beach, Florida. I am in Florida for the week. My daughter Noor has a sort of a softball all-star week scheduled. She had tryouts back 3 or 4 months ago to try to make this sort of select team for USSSA or USSSA, as they say, the United States Softball Something Association. So I'm down here, and I'm going to try to do a show every day this week if I can. Seems like her games are in the morning, probably because it is so damn hot down here. Hope you all are doing well. Glad to be here. Looks like Hoolie's already given people direction. This is episode 228. Thanks for the reminder. Hoolie's already given people directions if you're in the waiting room to try to be ready. That when I call on you, maybe I should start like saying who I'm going to go to first. So I'm going to start today with Gagan, and then I'll go to Vino. So I don't have a lot to report. I am excited about doing this week's of shows. I feel like I've been gone for a while, so the waiting room is full. So let's go ahead and get started.
Hi, Jim. This is
Hi,
Gagan.
How are you?
I just want to say I appreciate what you're doing. It's awesome.
Sure.
I wanted to just we got a notice for a re-interview at the U.S. Consulate in Mumbai. It's after my husband got his I-601 approved for unlawful presence. And then after, they requested updated documentation, they put us in a long administrative processing, which lasted 8 months. So I just wanted to know how we can prepare for this interview. They didn't ask for anything. They just asked, just to, bring updated medical and passport. But just wondering if you had any cases like that, if you can advise me on how we should prepare for the interview and what kind of documents we should take, even though they didn't ask for anything.
Do you feel like your husband will be able to do a good job of articulating why he overstayed in the United States?
Yeah, in the last interview, they asked him like when he came, how he came. Yeah, probably that's something that we need to work on, how to articulate to them.
Yeah. So what's your understanding of the timeline? Like, did he have a 3-year bar? Did he have a 10-year bar? Why did he overstay?
It's a 3-year bar. He was on asylum. He applied for asylum when he came here. So I think he had a couple of months, or maybe less than 3 months, I think, of unlawful presence before he applied for asylum. And then once we converted to I-130, we got, withdrew the asylum application, and he got a voluntary departure to go back and do the interview there. Because, it was, I think, entry without inspection.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that was my question. And you're a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
So one thing that I think that, okay, so one thing here's something we have to operate on. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the State Department doesn't like it when USCIS grants a waiver, right? Sometimes the State Department doesn't like it that USCIS grants a waiver. So, if we think about what's happened in the timeline, you filed the I-130, you got it approved. He went back home. He had this long wait for the waiver. USCIS approved the waiver. Now it's back in front of the State Department. And if we operate from the assumption of, they're just going to rubber stamp it and send him on his way, I don't think that's the right way to think about it. I think the right way to think about it is the State Department's thinking, how else can we screw around with these people, right? Now, hopefully that won't happen. But I think that he needs to be super ready to talk about the entry, to talk about most of all the asylum claim, right? So they could go over that asylum claim very carefully, especially with that 8-month wait, because with that 8-month wait, they were probably asking and receiving his old asylum file. And they may have gone over it with a fine-tooth comb to see if they can find something in the asylum application that was false, or something in the entry that they didn't know about before, to find new ways to screw with your husband. So he's got to be ready for everything. And what I would propose is that you act like a hard-ass State Department official, and if you don't have his asylum case, get it and go over it and see if there's anything in there that makes him nervous.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Or you could
Thank you,
have,
Jim.
or you could have my wife do it, and she'd scare the shit out of him. So,
Yeah,
whatever.
that would be nice. How can I
Yeah,
can I get a consultation with her?
yeah. Well, it wouldn't be consult, but I mean, I think that it would be worth a little bit of money to pay for us to prep him and to look
Mhm.
everything over and to go over it with you guys. But that's up to you.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. I'd be interested in that.
Okay. Yeah. Just email info@hackinglawpractice.com, and they'll try to set it up.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Goggin. See you. All right. That was Goggin. Let's go over to Vino, and then we'll go to Sam. Hi, Vino. Oh, Vino, you're on the dreaded mute.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It
Okay.
always happens. Yeah, I
No
really
worries.
appreciate whatever you're doing. So have been you have been helping a lot of my friends. So we have seen a lot of your videos, which has been really helpful. And so my case is quite a. I don't know if it is a unique situation or you might have more experience than mine. So to give you a background, so I married my 12-year relationship girlfriend back in 2021 of July, sorry, June, and then I immediately applied for the I-130. So I am a green card holder, and she's an Indian citizen. She has never been to US or any outside of the India yet. So we applied for I-130 on July 23rd, 2021 of last year, and it's with the California Service Center. So with California Service Center, we are the current processing time is about 25 months. So I'm expecting sometime around in 2024 that to be approved. So the second point is like I'm eligible to apply for citizenship of this January 2022. So I did not apply for N400 yet, thinking that that would delay the case for the I-130 for my wife. So I'm also traveling to India on this August 5th. August 5th, I'm traveling to India to support my wife's pregnancy. We are expecting our first baby in September, so which is in 2 months. So I'm traveling this August 5th, this Friday, so that I can support her during her pregnancy. So wanted to check with you if me applying for citizenship now would delay my child's paperwork or my wife's paperwork.
So, Vino, you're asking all the right questions. And generally, I would say go ahead and apply for citizenship. But there is one little wrinkle that you added, and that is the baby, right? So, if you become I've never understood this, but the children of green card holders are treated differently than the children of US citizens. So if you become a US citizen, either and that would probably happen after the baby is born, you would have to file a new I-130 for that baby, and you'd have to start their process all over, and their process would take probably a little bit less as long as your wife's case. So for your limited situation, I would recommend what you're thinking, which is don't apply for citizenship. Let the baby be born and enjoy the baby and file, and then you can just add the baby to your wife's application. You don't have to file a new I-130. You have to pay an extra fee, but that's just because it's a new person. But that won't slow you down. But let's just walk it through. If you applied for citizenship after you got back from India, that could take 8 or 9 months. That'd be about the time your wife is ready to, like, she'd be in the middle of processing at the National Visa Center, and then you got to say, "Oh, by the way, sorry, I have a kid, and I want to add them or bring them to the United States as well." Then you got to file a whole new I-130 because you're a U.S. citizen.
Okay. And one more thing that I had to do is, so as I mentioned earlier, this was we were in a relationship for 12 years, and we tried to get married since 2017. We couldn't get married because of all the dramas that happens of love marriage in India. So it's a typical Bollywood story. So we tried to get married since 2017, but we couldn't get married. And then 2019, I tried again and couldn't get married, and finally we were able to get married in 2021. So there are so many emotional roller coasters that I went through, and I have been I have been had a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. So I've been to ERs as well, like 3 times I've been to emergency rooms because of panic attacks. I tried to expedite my case through congressmen. So when I reached out to my local congressman, they asked for a doctor's letter of my situation. So I was able to get my primary care physician's doctor's letter. So that's the doctor I've been seeing for the last 3 years with my anxiety attacks and so on. So he was able to give me the letter. So the congressman, they sent the letter to USAS to see if they can expedite, but USAS responded that they will not be able to expedite my case. So I contacted USCIS directly after this response, like 2 weeks before. So when I spoke with the USCIS representative, she mentioned that she asked me to send all the documents, like the medical records and everything, as much as I can, to them directly to the California Service Center. Do you think I can do that and see if they can expedite, or like what is your advice on that?
You can try it. I wouldn't get my hopes up. I wouldn't get my
Okay.
hopes up.
Okay.
I think instead what I would do is, if you don't have a decision from USCIS by say December, I'd sue them to get a decision there so that you can get going at the National Visa Center in the State Department. I'd give them 18 months from date of filing, and then I'd sue them because you're a green card holder. The thing
Okay.
is, so on our lawsuits, when we file lawsuits for cases that are going to be, so there are one-step cases and two-step cases. So one step is where you do it all at once. You get a green card right here. Two-step, you file it here, and then you go to the State Department. When we sue to get a case out of USCIS, when they know it still has to go to the State Department, they haven't fought us on those at all, knock on wood. So I think if we sued them after like 18 months, they would approve that pretty quickly, and then you'd be on to the National Visa Center. So you'd at least cut 6 months off there.
Okay.
But as far as sending documents of anxiety and stuff like that, as much as that makes me sad for you, I don't think that they pay much attention to that.
Okay, even though the California Service Center processing time says 25 months, we can
Oh yeah,
still
yeah,
we
that's
can still
BS. They just keep pushing that back. Where do you live?
Houston.
Yeah, I'd file it in Houston. I think you'd be fine.
Okay. Okay, so I can give time until December and see if we can connect together to sue them.
Yeah,
Okay, sounds good. And I can send out an email to the info email address.
sure.
Cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Hopefully you won't need to see you, bud.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, longtime viewers of this show know that we don't put much stock in the old expedite. When everything's delayed, asking for them to expedite something doesn't really work, just because everybody wants their cases to be expedited. So I'm going to go to Sam next. And then for people, I'm going to call on the people who are on camera before I call the people who aren't. You don't necessarily have to come on the call on camera, but when you're in the waiting room, you have to be on camera so that I know that you're actually there. So I'm going to go to Sam, and then I'm going to go to PJ. All right, so let's say hi to Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Mr. Hacking. Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. Oh, you are good as well. I know you were on vacation last week in Michigan, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did. We rented a pontoon boat, and we were out on Lake Michigan, and all of a sudden the front of the boat started tipping into the water, and all this water was coming on, and I was driving the boat, so I gunned it in reverse. We pulled out of this like splashy splash thing, and we had some people run to the back of the boat, and everything was okay. But man,
That sounds scary.
I was a little bit worried that my mother, who is 77, was going to be swimming, but luckily she didn't have to go in the water.
Oh man, I'm happy that you guys were safe. My wife, she's from Michigan, so we've been up there a few times as well. So I'm gonna try to be quick because I know there's a lot of people waiting. I contacted you on episode 208, and we were talking about the fact that I was waiting for my work permit, and it was 8 months at the time. 8 months passed. Now, you told me that I probably hear something by 10 months, which is going to be this month that we're in, which is August.
Yeah.
August the 18th will be the 10 month. You asked me at the time if I spoke to my lawyer. I spoke to him now, and I just want to know if you would concur with what he said.
Okay.
He was telling me that what happened was when I filed, it was the old system where they sent you the combo card thing, and he's saying because I filed in October last year. And he was saying that they changed it now where they start sending the work permit separate from the AP. And he was saying that's why some people are getting theirs now. But he's saying that mine should be here, like you said, within this month coming. Do you believe in that I should be receiving it?
Yeah, I think so. And you know, your lawyer and me and everybody else, most of all, we're just guessing, right? Like we're trying to read the tea leaves, trying to read the signs. That's as good an explanation as any. You know, I never understood the whole let's separate out advanced parole from the EAD because that'll make things go faster. I don't really understand why that is, but I guess there's some procedural stuff at USCIS that makes that happen. But yeah, I think you're probably pretty close.
Okay, because I'm seriously worried because come October, that's gonna be 1 year, and I still haven't received anything at all from them as yet.
Right.
And I keep the biometrics and everything. So
yeah, I think you're okay. Let me know when you get it, okay?
Yeah, I will come back on that. One more thing.
Yeah.
You were asking in the last video that I came on, you were asking for advice for new show. Well, you posted a video yesterday, I think, or the day before, where you were saying about suing the USCIS, and people shouldn't be afraid of that. I think you should do a show about people coming on here as well on camera. Shouldn't talk to you, shouldn't be afraid to do that, because your program is what is helping us right now to cope, to be honest with you. So people shouldn't be afraid to come here and talk and think that the USCIS is going to do something to them because they're on here talking to you.
Yeah. And they can always use an alias or not even be on camera.
They can.
I've had plenty of people come on the show tell me, I have this friend, and then they reach out to the firm and, hey, I was the friend. Oh, really?
Yeah, I bet you have another experience.
We try to keep it easy. Thanks, Sam.
No problem.
Keep us posted, buddy.
I will.
That's old Sam waiting for his EAD. Hopefully it's coming soon. All right, I'm going to go to PJ, then I'm going to go to Sunny. Hi, PJ.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, Jim?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. So I am trying to obtain my immigration file using FOIA, and part of the process, I think they ask for your I-94 number. And I'm trying to fill that out as much as I can. But when I go to the CBP website to obtain that I-94, I do not get the most recent I-94, like the most recent entry. And I'm just wondering what I should do about that. So what happens is the I-94 that I get is one that is the entry that I made before I became a lawful permanent resident. After that, it doesn't show me anything when I
that would be usually you don't have an I-94 if you have a green card, so that should be the last one.
Okay, and so that's the one that I should give them.
Yeah, and I wouldn't stress about it too much because really they just use it to make sure that they found the right person. So it's not like you could submit we submit FOIAs all the time without an I-94 and we get back the full A file. So I don't think you need to sweat it too much.
Okay, all right. That's all I wanted to ask. Thank you.
That was easy. Thanks, PJ. See you, buddy. All right, that was PJ. We're going to say hi to Sunny, and then we're going to go to Sumit.
Good afternoon, Jim. How are you?
Good, Sunny. How are you?
Good. I'm a big fan of you.
Awesome. What can I help you with?
Okay. Thanks for coming to Michigan.
Yeah, for sure.
So I came last few weeks back in the show number 215. So I think you remember just for unlawful presence.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, Sonny. It's like your microphone sucks or something. I don't know what it is.
Are you hearing me? Are you able to?
I mean, yeah, but the audio just sounds. Why don't you turn off your camera and just put the phone by your mouth?
Okay, one second.
It sounds real.
Now, is it good?
No, it sounds like I don't know. It sounds like you're a robot or something. Try to fix that, Sonny. I'll come back to you, okay?
Thanks.
All right. Let's say hi to Sumit. Hi, Sumit.
Hey, hello, Jim. Sorry for the mess, but
it's all good.
Yeah. So the reason for my call today is I am the permanent resident. Like I got my green card through marriage, but that was the conditional green card. And then I have applied for my I-751 removal of conditions back in June 2021.
Okay.
So I got my case updated in May 2022 for fingerprints. Basically, they have reused the fingerprints. And after that, on July 6, 2022, I just received a notification that document was mailed to me, and I was not sure what document that was. So basically, my attorney's notice for my biometrics reuse was rerouted to me. But what happened was, when I have this case in the USCIS app, it shows that it, when I enter the receipt number there, it shows all the bubbles and all, as if it's approved. It's behaving as it's approved, but it's not. When it says document was sent, it was not the document which is like green card or something. It is the biometrics.
How long ago did you apply for the 751?
751 was in June 2021.
Okay.
And
Alright.
I have also applied for my naturalization, actually, June 2022.
Okay.
So
your 751's been pending for like a year?
more than a year, yes.
But like a year and a month?
Yeah.
So are you asking me if I think the 751's been approved? I don't think your 751's been approved.
Oh, okay. That was the question, actually, because it's at SRC Service Center, and I see nothing has been approved lately at that service.
Yeah, I've yet to hear of any 751 taking less than 22 months.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you think that, and I'm in Atlanta, so I have applied for my naturalization already. So when I get interviewed, you think that my file would be already there, or do I have to do anything for them to make my file come here?
I think that you never know, and that anything is possible. I've had people show up for their 751 N400 combo interview and get interviewed on the N400. I've seen people show up and get interviewed on the 751. I've seen people get interviewed on both, and I've seen people be told, "We don't have your file for either of these. We're just going to have to sit on the. You're just going to have to come back another time."
Oh, so there is nothing really you can do. I mean, one can do here.
No, I mean, I've been telling people to wait to file for citizenship until the 751 is over, just because as dumb as it is, it overwhelms them when people do that. So it's okay that you did it, not a big deal. But I tell people to wait now. I used to do what you did and have them file it right away.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, for some reason, the 751 file is not kept with the N400 file, and it's like,
Sure.
does not compute, and then nothing happens.
Sure. And I have also applied for case being outside processing time at SRC because it's been more than a year.
What's out of processing times?
The processing time was 11 months, I believe.
No, that's BS, because they're giving everybody a 24-month extension letter. So they know damn well that it takes 2 years now. So that's not going to go anywhere.
Oh, okay. So I'll just wait in that case for
You're just chilling, Sumit.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. And by the way, thank you very much for helping us. It's really helpful. I really watch your videos, and it's really helping a lot of people.
Oh, thanks. Good luck with your 751 and your N400.
Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right, let's say hi to Mary, and then we'll go to Jimmy. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Jim.
What's up?
Hi, Jim. This is my second time on your show.
Great.
I have a question. I'm still waiting because you said wait until the end of the year. But my question is, my oncologist gave me a medical, what do you call it?
Your oncologist doesn't want you to get the COVID vaccine.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So my question is no. Is there a special form that I have let him fill out when that time come when I have to go and do the medical?
Yeah. So and you're overseas, right?
No. Yeah, I'm in Jamaica.
Yeah, you'll just whatever the doctor tells you to do, they'll tell you what to do. There's nothing you need to do until you see the doctor.
Okay. All right. So I have to wait until the medical part comes up.
Other than having the proof, like when you go to your medical exam, you're going to want to have proof that your oncologist said that you shouldn't get vaccinated.
Right.
And then go from there.
Because I'm a cancer survivor, but I end up with lymphedema.
Mm-hmm.
The chemo did a number on all my organs.
I'm sorry.
And all of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mary. Yeah.
He said, stay away. My oncologist tell me the same thing. My OBGYN tell me the same thing. My lymphedema tell me the same thing.
Yeah, good. So then I would say, Mary, get letters from all of them and bring that to your medical exam.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jim, and thank you for the work you're
Of
doing.
course. Good luck, Mary. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Okay, bye. All right, that was Mary. We're going to go to Jimmy, and then we're going to go to King. All right, Jimmy, and then King. Hooli is laying down the law over in the private chat. I can hear that beep. I don't know if you guys can hear the beep, but let's see what Hooli's just laying down the law. Don't be messing with Hooli. All right. Jimmy's up. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, how you doing?
Just laying down the law. I'm good. Can you turn down that audio? It's like you have two things open.
What's up, Jimmy? Turn down the audio. Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah. Do you have YouTube on and you have me talking, or how are you watching? Yeah. Do you have YouTube on and you have me talking, or?
Maybe I need it.
Oh, we're gonna have to come back. All right, and King is here. Hi, and King.
Hi, Jimmy. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a while. The last time I came, I was trying to tell you that I applied for my green card way back in February of 2021, and I still haven't received anything. The last update that I had was that my fingerprints were taken. My biometrics was allocated on. That was in April 2021, and I haven't received any update since then. So
green card based on what?
Asylum.
Yeah. So and where do you live? What field office is handling your green card? Will handle your green card case?
It's the National Benefit Center in Lee's in Missouri.
Yeah, but like if they had an interview, which USCIS office is by your house?
It's in North Kansas City. It's close to the airport.
You live in Kansas City?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah. So you are close to Lee Summit. Yeah. Okay. So you have a green card. You filed what did you say, March of 21?
No, I filed for my green card. The application was received on the 5th of February 2021.
So we're at 18 months. Yeah. Are you thinking about suing them, or what are you thinking about doing? You're just wondering how long do I think it's going to take, or what?
I don't know. The first thing I want to know is it normal for you to take that span? Or
yeah, so I have a special video on this. You can probably find it on the channel. But basically, did you get asylum from the judge, or did you get it from the asylum office?
The asylum office.
Okay, so up until about 3 or 4 years ago, the asylum office was kept separate from USCIS. Like, when did you apply for asylum? Do you remember?
In 2018, I was approved on January 7th, 2020.
When you filed for asylum, did you get your receipt notice on this thing that looked like an old dot matrix printer? It looked really old, like somebody sent it to you from the 1980s?
Yes, like a typewriter, yeah.
Yeah, so that means that your case was handled under the old software system, right? And so I don't know why, but for some reason, those cases seem to take longer when the people apply for a green card. So it's almost like your case is kept in this extra special secret place, I don't know, and that when USCIS is trying to decide whether or not to give you a green card, they can't always get those systems to attach to each other. So we've actually had lots of people call this show, and I've seen it a lot in my practice, where people have applied for asylum, been granted asylum, either by the immigration judge or by the asylum office, and then their green cards take forever. So it actually happens a lot. And I don't know if that's because they want to go back and look at your asylum case, because there's a big question on the green card about whether you've been a member of any groups. So they want to go over your asylum case to see if you're a member of any groups, or they want to see if there's anything in your asylum case that wasn't true. So sometimes it can take longer for a green card, but you've been waiting 18 months. I think if we sued them, you'd probably have an interview in about 2 or 2.5 months, and then a decision about a month later.
Okay, so how can I go about that?
Yeah, just call the office or email us, info@hackinglawpractice.com, info@hackinglawpractice.com. Julio put it on the comments, and you can just send an email, say, hey, my name is King. I was on the show with Jim. and I want to sue to get them moving on my green card case.
Okay, that's the first question. The second question I want to ask is, I just had my lawyer applied for my refugee travel document. The question I want to ask you is, if I'm kind of skeptical using my refugee travel documents, but if I use that to travel out, is it guaranteed I'm going to come back?
I vote you wait till you get your green card.
Okay.
But afterwards, if you have a U.S. green card and a refugee travel document, I think you should be okay, as long as you don't go back to your home country.
Yes, but with just the travel document, it's not advisable for me to travel.
Until you get that green card, my vote is you don't go until you get your green card. With just the travel, I don't like that. I mean, you can, but I don't like it.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. That's what I wanted to ask.
Hi, King. See you, buddy.
All right. Take care.
Okay, bye. All right, let's go back to Jimmy, see if he's got his audio. Jimmy, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It happens a lot. This sounds much better. What can I help you with?
Well, I think I messed up. I followed my I-130, but first of all, I married in December online through Utah.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, she's in the Philippines.
Okay.
We lived together like 2.5 years before that, but I moved back to the U.S.
Okay.
I did screw up. I didn't know about the I-131, I think, and the other one for working and also going out of the country. I didn't apply those. I didn't know.
She's over there?
Yes.
All you need for that at this stage is the I-130 and the I-130A. That's all you need.
Okay, good. Okay, because I did both those.
Yeah.
Let's see what I think I'm.
You got receipted? You got your receipt back?
I did it online. Yes, I see that it went to the Texas
Service Center.
Yeah.
Okay, and when was that? January of this year?
No, that was in April, I believe. April something, because I had to go over and consummate the marriage.
Okay.
Because I lived with her, but that was before the wedding. Then we got married online through Utah County.
Got it.
And everything. I'm worried about having problems in the future, though, about some of the paperwork, possibly. Also, some of the ID or the birth certificates are not readable very well.
Okay.
And we're working on getting all that done, but I may need your services in the future. I'm just trying to think, what else I screwed up on. I try to be careful and meticulous.
Well, it sounds like you're okay, but really, the first stage where you're at right now is this a valid marriage? So if you live together for 2.5 years and you have a long history together, and you can show that you went to the Philippines to consummate the marriage, everything should be okay there. So that's just USCIS saying that you're free to marry, she's free to marry, and they believe you're together. That's the next stage is probably where you'll need us, because that's when you have to do things like show that you can financially support her. You have to show you have to sort of start over with a new agency with the State Department and go over all this stuff. That's probably where you'll need us.
Yeah. Let's see. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to ask.
I mean, the Philippines is like the slowest embassy in the world, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was looking on Visa Journey just to try and follow stuff.
Yeah.
It says that my step one time is till February, like between 7th and 15th.
Of next year?
Yes.
Oh, that's the easy part. I'm talking about the embassy part. You're talking another 2 years after you get approved at USCIS.
Really?
Yeah. 18 to 24 months. It's horrible.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was going to be the CR1. Now it's going to be the IR1. If it's that long. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They're unbelievably slow.
Is it just mainly Philippines or?
Yeah, Manila's the slowest. It's like if you made a list of all the slow ones, you have sort of slow, sort of slow, sort of slow, and then you have way slow Manila.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did bring a prior. I had a prior wife from the Philippines too. I did it on a fiance visa with her, but it didn't work out.
Does that person have a green card?
Yes.
So USCIS doesn't like that either. So they're going to hold you to a higher standard. I think when you sponsor someone and then they get a green card, and then later on you sponsor somebody else, they hold you to a higher standard because they think you're just sort of marrying people to bring them to the United States.
No, but that was 10 years ago.
So that's good. Yeah. But just got to be ready for all of it.
Okay. I may need to call you guys to, in the future, but thank you very much.
Thanks, Jimmy. See you, bud. That was Jimmy. All right, we're going to go to L, and then we're going to go to Vico. L or LE, and then Vico. Hi, Ellie.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Good. So I have a question about the ESTA. I have a work from home job in England, but it can kind of work from anywhere. So I was wondering if it would be against my ESTA conditions if I was to go work my current job, but in the United States.
So that's sort of like a gray area, right? So, the immigration rules have not caught up to the reality of today's workforce, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're telling me that for instance, let's say you were a paralegal, because we have paralegals who live in Argentina, and if they enter on a visa or if they enter on ESTA, Argentina doesn't get to do ESTA, but if somebody from England entered on ESTA and did work for their European company and got paid in Europe or in England, I don't see how USCIS can say that's a violation of ESTA. I don't know how they could make that argument. Now, the problem is they're sort of the kings of the castle, right? So if they don't let you in, then they don't let you in. If they revoke your ESTA, they revoke your ESTA. Not much you can do about that, right? You can't appeal. You can't appeal the revocation of ESTA, or you can't appeal if they don't let you into the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So if you said when you came through customs, let's say you're coming to see an old college friend, you're going to America, you're going to go to Detroit and see an old college friend, and you tell them that's why you're coming. If that's true, you're good to go, and they should let you in. If you said I'm coming to see America and I'm going to work the whole time I'm here, then that's a whole different thing. So I think you got to be honest but careful with how you answer when you come through.
Okay, because I am engaged to an American citizen. We're not planning on getting married until May next year, so I don't want to, on my visit to see him, to then, put that at risk in the future.
I don't see how, if you're working, I think it'd be different. I think it'd be different if you were working for an American company and then coming on ESTA to work in the factory or work in the home office for 90 days. I think that would be a lot more problematic. I think if you came to the United States and you had a U.S. employer and you went by to visit the office, I think that's okay. But like I said, it's a really gray area, and this is just Jim pulling things out of his butt. It's not like the real rules or anything, right?
Okay. So should I stay clear just to be on the safe side?
And not work?
Yeah, I can come over and not work. I can drop out of my job and drop back into it.
I think if that's going to make you feel better, yeah, but I think it might be a little much.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Ellie.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's say hi to Vico, and then we'll go to Samad. Hi, Vico.
Hello, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for your advice and for your show. Sure. So this is my second time that I talk to you. I contact you in 2019. I've been refused in Morocco at U.S. Embassy, me and my wife. And after that, we get revoked from USCIS and we reapply again in 2021.
For what?
And
what kind of a visa are we talking about?
What? Excuse me?
What are you applying for? I don't know what you're applying for.
Yeah, we are applying for CR1.
Okay, and are you the U.S. citizen or are you the foreign national?
No, my wife, she's a U.S. citizen.
Why did you get refused?
Yeah, because the U.S. Embassy, they interview me and my wife. They say, oh, we believe in your marriage, it's real, but we are not gonna approve you now, And after.
Why?
Because I believe because of the difference of the age. It's not what
How big of a gap is it?
Yeah, it's 20 something.
Why did your spouse come to the embassy interview?
Yeah, because the officer, she said, okay, you know what? now you have to go, and you next time you're gonna bring your wife with you for the interview. And we did the interview both, and the answer, we answer everything. Everything was correct.
Did they separate you?
Yeah, did they separate us? And she was rude, and really was not nice. We get like a discrimination there. People they don't respect.
Which embassy was this?
It was Morocco, Casablanca.
And how much time between when you had your interview by yourself and when your spouse came in?
1 month.
So when you went to the interview by yourself, did you tell them that your wife was in Morocco, or did they tell her to come to Morocco for the interview?
No, I told them my wife, she's not in Morocco. My wife, she's in America.
And they said, we want to talk to her?
Yeah, they say, okay, please, you have to tell her to contact her to come for the interview.
That sounds like something they would do. That Morocco embassy is no good. So, okay, so what's the question now, Vico?
The question now, after I saw the report that they made, it was online, nothing true. After we got revoked, and on 2021, we reapply again, and we got approved, okay? And what is your advice? I'm on the stage of the MVC, so what is your advice for my next interview?
Wait,
we live we live together in the last past 2 years. We live together and we travel abroad together. So what is your advice, Jim, for me for my interview?
Vico, did you ever try to come to the United States before you met this person?
No, never.
How did you meet her?
We met online in 2016, and she visited me in 2017. We got married in 2018.
And when you say the officer was rude, what did they talk about?
She didn't like me because she didn't like I don't know why.
She thinks you're like on that show 90 Day Fiance and just marrying an old American lady, so you get a green card and then you're going to come to America and ditch her. That's why.
That's what I think she think, But we are far from this,
So when after your interview with both of you, did they send it back to USCIS for revocation and then USCIS reaffirmed it?
Yeah. They sent to us for revocation and we get revoked.
Oh, they revoked it.
They revoked me. Then we say okay, and my wife, she came when we lived together, and then in 2021 we decided to reapply.
That's very unusual that USCIS would revoke it after it gets sent back from the State Department. I bet that happens in less than 10% of the cases. What evidence did you submit when they sent you the notice of intent to revoke?
Yeah, I see. We submit a lot of different evidence, like trip, ticket, conversation, and affidavit of support, and picture, wedding picture, and gift, card of gifts, a lot of different.
So what's your question for me, Vico?
My question is, now because of the time, now we have more evidence. We have a banking account together. We have insurance. My wife, she had also her residence. We travel abroad. We live together. So now we have more evidence. So what is your advice for me for my next interview?
Just keep going. I think they don't like your case. I think they don't want to let you come. But all you can do is keep going.
Okay. So I hope the officer, think she's gonna change or somebody else.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Good luck, Vico.
Yeah, thank you. Please, I have just the last question.
Yeah.
In the MVC, we submit all the document and they receive it, but the only thing they ask for about the tax of 2021, and the accountant, he only claim on October, and I wrote down an explanation. So what do you think? That's gonna be an issue, or it's normal?
He got an extension to October.
Yeah, until October, about 2021.
Yeah,
He claimed only. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Bye
All
bye.
right. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Vico. Let's go to Sumad and then we'll go to Mom. Hi, Sumad.
Hello, can you hear me?
Gotcha. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Great. What can I help you with?
Hey, so yeah, I've filed for I-751. So yeah, basically I wanted to come from like the beginning. So I got my initial green card in 2019 March. So it is valid for 2021 March. So I applied my extension I-751 in the 2021 end of this, I mean, somewhere around that November. So, and then later, unfortunately, I sent the wrong money order. I mean, some different amount. So I got my package back. And then later, after 1 or 2 months, I got a RFE saying that unfortunately, I couldn't able to mark the married the check mark. So I missed out that check mark, unfortunately. So that is I got the RFE related that, and adding the submit the more documents, and then I've submitted all the evidence documents which I have, supporting documents, and then
how much time did you waste altogether?
Altogether,
between the check not being the right amount and the RFE, how much time did you waste?
Around 4 to 5 months.
How much?
4 to 5 months.
Okay.
5 months.
Okay.
And then this check mark I got it. Sorry, I wasted almost 8 to 9 months. Sorry, not 5 months. I got the RFE in the around August somewhere. Yeah, September or August, and then I've submitted my RFE in the October.
Okay. So what's the question?
So I don't know how long. I mean that later that case was sent it to the NBC, and then NBC and the 1 month 2 months ago I got update saying that your interview is going to be scheduled. So that is my latest update from the USACS.
Where do you live?
I live in California, LA.
What was the original filing date?
The extension.
When you first filed, this is 751, right?
Yeah, I-751.
What's the receipt date from when you first, when the check cleared and you had the right payment? When was that?
That was in the month of April.
April what year?
2021.
Okay. And did you submit a lot of evidence in support of the 751?
Yes. Almost 8 to 9.
Why do you think they scheduled you for an interview? Because they're not doing that as much as they used to.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's the reason I wanted to know. I mean,
well, when you say you submitted lots of evidence, like what did you submit?
I submitted my house rental copy and phone bill, power bill.
One of each?
No, almost last 6 months.
Okay.
And photocopies and affidavits and the what else, like insurance copy and then gym bill.
I think sometimes it depends on what your status was at the time that you got married. Were you in F1 or H1B, or what was your status when you got married?
I was an F1.
Yeah. So it could just be random. Sometimes they do it randomly, or it could have been they might think you don't really know what you're doing because your case got, first the return because of the check, and then you got the RFE. What was the RFE for? Was it for more marital evidence?
Checkbox, that marriage, the checkbox. I didn't put the checkbox on the marriage, or are you still together or divorce or something, right? So
Gotcha.
that I missed out. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. So they might just think, like there might, for all I know, they might have certain trigger marks that, hey, if this doesn't happen or that doesn't happen, then go ahead and schedule them for an interview.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but you're just waiting. It's probably going to be in LA. You're probably talking another year or 10 months before you get the actual interview.
So it takes one more year to get the interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you think can I go for a lawsuit? That's a good option, or
No.
so waiting is a good option?
In April next year.
At that the current the 24 months extension is going to be finishing next March.
Yeah, so in March next year, then you can sue them if you want. You can also call USCIS and get a 1-year extension too. But the RFE and the other thing is really what slowed this down more than anything. So I'd be reluctant to do a delay lawsuit until a full 2 years have been pending that wasn't delayed by you.
Okay. So what is the best option? What you suggest here?
You're just sitting tight waiting for your interview.
Okay. So one more thing I wanted to mention, like in my relationship is not going in the right direction. So so that is a one more. That is a one more issue.
So that's a whole other thing. You should probably call our office so that we can have a discussion off camera with one of our lawyers if you're thinking about, because you could refile if you think the marriage isn't going to last until the 2-year mark. You can file a new 751 on your own, or you can ask that the one you have on file be converted. But there's a lot of issues with that, and I have a lot of videos. If you look up 751 solo, I have a lot of videos that talk about that. But that's a whole other can of worms.
Okay. So so can I go for lawsuit? Lawsuit is the. Do you think other option? No.
There's no way I'm filing a lawsuit on a case that was delayed 9 months because we didn't know what we were doing. There's no way I'm doing that now when the receipt date is just about 1 year and 2 months. So no.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ahmad.
Thank you so much.
Bye, buddy. All right. So that's the thing. You can't screw up your own case and drag it out months and months and then complain that USCIS is taking too long. This is why you should work with a lawyer from the beginning, because now it sounds like his marriage is petering out. He lost 9 months by his count because he didn't send in the right filing fee, which is sort of mind-boggling because the 751 filing fee is pretty straightforward. And then it didn't check a box on the form. So, people say all the time in the comments, hire a lawyer, but man, sometimes it's just sort of laid out for you that somebody should have hired a lawyer. Let's say hi to Mom, and then we'll go to Luis. Hi, Mom.
Hello, hi.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
I gotcha.
Perfect. So me and my husband, we got married on fiancé visa in March 2022 this year. And basically straight after we submitted all documents for advance parole and the green card. During the time with the whole immigration process in England, where my house is, I do own 10 pet birds, and I had a person to take care of them.
You said birds?
Birds, yes, correct.
Okay.
For the time being. Unfortunately, that person had an emergency and is unable to take care of them. And I've been trying for about 2 months to, sort the problem. But I couldn't find anyone. So I requested urgent advance parole appointment, and I had it on the 25th of July, but my case was denied just because he said that there is nothing like a pet, pet reason to go abroad, basically.
Right.
But obviously, it's not something that I can leave. So obviously I left the US without advance parole.
You did? You did leave, or you're thinking about leaving?
No, I left. I am in the UK already. Okay. So my question is is anything like, I don't know, writing a complaint letter to USCIS, I don't know, is going to do something? Or because
what do you want to complain about?
it's just, you know, that with the situation I was in, and obviously there is nothing like, you know, they don't care about my reason.
They don't. If your mom was dying in England of cancer, they wouldn't care. So they're certainly not going to care about pets.
Okay.
I mean, there's tons and tons of people in line ahead of you, and so I don't think you should be thinking about a complaint. What you should be thinking about is my green card case over, and do I have to start all over? That's what you should be thinking about.
Yeah. So shall I start because obviously I'm in England now. So shall I start applying for a marriage visa instead? Because obviously
I think you have to, yeah.
Okay.
Because the green card was abandoned when you got on the plane and left the United States, which means the work card and the travel card, all that stuff is abandoned. So I think you need to withdraw that I-45 and file a new I-130 and start over for consular processing.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Sure. Is that it?
Yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much.
Good luck, Mom. Hope your birds are okay.
Yeah, they are.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, I haven't had someone ask about birds before, so you never know what's going to come up on the old immigration answer show. Let's say hi to Luis. Hi, Luis.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Good. What's up?
I have a pretty quick question for you. Have I-130 submitted for my daughter and my wife in 2020. Submitted a lawsuit 12 months, a year when we reached 12 months waiting for the interview already. So we got the I-130 approval fast in 3 months. Then we got to the embassy and 6 months. So we finished with the common DQ stage on the June 2020.
Wait, so I did the lawsuit to get you out of USCIS.
No, it was to have the interview already.
Okay, all right.
No, so that lawsuit got a motion to dismiss, and we have been waiting for the judge to have a decision since January this year. So I have been thinking this is a kind of a new question for you, but I have been thinking, I know if there is a possibility to have maybe a second lawsuit in place, or that is kind of crazy.
No, as long as what I say, Luis, often is that once they file the motion to dismiss, in a way we've already lost, because that means that they're not going to work voluntarily on your case. We file lawsuits for some visa cases all over the world and cases, and they just start working on them. Some they decide to file a motion to dismiss. I never know why, but we can't make the judge rule on it. But usually the motions to dismiss are granted, so it's not looking good.
Okay. So we're just waiting for that.
We can't do another one, not yet. We could, like, maybe after the judge decides and then some time passes, we could do another one. But which embassy is this, Luis?
It's Mexico, Ciudad Juarez.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, bud.
Okay. No, it's just asking because I have 3 lawyers on this one because my company was helping me at the beginning, and the second one was like, yeah, you might be getting it by 2025. Like, okay, thank you. Kind of crazy, but yeah.
Thanks, Luis.
No, thanks, Jim.
Have a good day, bud.
Have a good day.
All right. That'll do it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time. Next show tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central, 3 to 4 Central. I'll be with you, and we'll go from there. Have a great night. And if you want to get on our text list to find out in case I move that, it's 314-470-3300. Thanks as always to Hooli, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.